Hello my fellow adventurers, and welcome back to Living the Grand Adventure. I'm Kevin. Today Alex is with me, and we decided to make a trip over here to Zaleski State Forest. We're going to do a 2-night trip, Site 1 and Site 3. Hopefully we'll be able to enjoy it. If you notice, it is extremely packed. There are a ton of people here. We're here a little bit later. It's about 4 o'clock. We got started later, had some errands to do today, so we weren't able to leave until a little bit later. And we got on the road, got about 20 minutes into the trip, and I realized I forgot my camera. So we had to turn around and go back, so it cost us 40 minutes there. Yeah, up there. So we're here, and we're gonna see the sights, guys. So guys, yeah, like I said, we're back here at Zaleski. Get ready to head in from the Hope Furnace entrance. And it is very, very packed up in here. Yeah. But yeah, it's very, very packed. I mean, there's cars even parked up here. I'm sure these guys aren't overnighters, but we are. 2 nights in Zaleski, guys. That's what we're shooting for. We are going to Site 1 tonight. It's about a 2-mile hike from where we're at. Very simple, very easy. Tomorrow, we're looking to go to Site 3. And that should be roughly a 6.5-mile hike. Nothing major. And then we'll hike back out. Coming across the bridge here into the entrance, guys. Real exciting. Yeah, you got this first initial incline and then it flattens out. It's not too bad, Lex. You've got your tips on there, so they're not going to grip very well. So yeah, today is September 26th, 4th day of autumn. Just completed my little bur oak trip. This is Alex's first trip out since we were at Mohican and she had the problems with her knee. Her knee's okay, but that's one reason we kind of chose this, because initially we were planning on going to Shawnee. And of course, if anybody from Ohio knows, that's one of the hardest trails in Ohio. Well, I wasn't sure if her knee was ready for that. That may be a possibility sometime next month, but for now, we're doing this. Like I said, this is about 2 miles in. It's 2.1 miles. It's not extremely hard. There'll be some inclines and declines. Basically, I just wanted to test her knee out. And we'll see how it feels. And if by chance it's bothering her, we would come on out and go home tomorrow. I'm hoping she feels good enough we can go on up to Site 3. Go straight. It's where it says backpacking trail. Yeah, this is the old Hollows trail. We're not going out that way. Going out this way to Point B, because we are going to campsite 1. And if we get a decent vantage, I'll show you what this parking lot looks like. It's kind of crazy how busy it is. Like I said, once again, with the state of the world, it's hard for people to get out and do anything, so they're hitting the woods. Oh, step off, let her pass. So yeah, very, very, very busy. The parking lot, if you can tell, is completely full here. There's even cars parked up along the road. The overflow parking lot is completely full as well. And we did stop by the Hope Schoolhouse just for reference point. That way, if we knew we couldn't get a site or a parking spot here, we could get one over there. And unfortunately, that one was completely full too. There was 1 spot left open. But we were wanting to do this because, of course, the Hope Schoolhouse entrance, you have that one big initial incline, and yeah, it's pretty flat after that, but I was worried about her knee, so I thought this would probably be a little bit easier on her because it's more gradual, and she's never been in this way either. This is only her 2nd trip to Zaleski, so she gets to try this out, see what she thinks. She's been to Site 1. That's one reason I'm kind of hoping she can push to Site 3 and we can really enjoy it. Depending on how her knee feels, we either come out the West Loop, which is open now, guys. If you remember when I was back here about a year ago, I think it was last October, so about 11 months ago, the West Loop was closed down for controlled burns, and they were clearing it out and stuff like that. So it is open. So if she feels like it, we may come out that way. If not, if the knee's still kind of tender, especially after a couple of days of hiking, we'll probably go out that service road that I kind of went last time and come down to the King Hollow Trail, which is the other service road that goes out to Site 2. And we'll just meet that out and come out to the road back to the car. Which, I mean, we know that's an easy trail. That 5.5, 6 miles, I'll hike in less than 2 hours by myself with a 30-pound pack, because that was my winter equipment at the time. Right now I have mainly summer equipment. We are carrying hammocks today. So we're going to be hammock camping for 2 nights again. Really enjoyable. Love being in a hammock. Like my tent, but I like my hammock too, guys. Kind of worried about getting up here to Site 1, because I know it's probably the most popular site, and it being full. Like I told Alex, I said I'm not really stressed. I mean, if we don't get to do a fire because we're not within boundary where we can do a fire, we'll just go ahead and find a few trees, hang up, sleep tonight, and get over to Site 3, and we'll be over there a little bit earlier, because we'll probably be up at 7, 8, 9 in the morning and on trail by like 9, 10 o'clock. And in doing that, we should be able to get to site by 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Plus, it's a Sunday tomorrow. Today is Saturday. So I'm hoping the woods won't be quite as busy. But like I said, if we would get over here and her knee's bothering her, we'll probably just come back out tomorrow, because I'm not taking a chance on that. But there's no actual major damage to it. It's basically what, a muscle strain. Yeah, it's a little wet right through here. When Shane and I come in that November, because this is the way we came, it was really wet. All right. So yeah, you got this little wetland area that the edges of are kind of wet. I remember doing this with Shane back in November of 2018, actually. This was really soaked right through here. This was completely underwater. It's dry right now. And back up the hill into this little pine forest, guys. Figure I'd give Zaleski another try. But yeah, I was looking for something a little bit easier on her knee. And we really didn't want to go back to East Fork, because we've been there a number of times and she's seen East Fork. We've really covered that area pretty well. Other than the perimeter trail, which we didn't have time to do a 30-some mile loop this time, because we only have the 2 nights, because she's in school. She got a 3-day weekend. The woods are really pretty right now. Still plenty of green, but we are starting to see some changes. And I'm sure once we get up on these ridges, you'll start seeing a lot of orange and red in the trees, guys. How's your knee? Holding up?
Feeling just fine right now. It's really humid, and that's like the main issue.
Yeah, it's really humid, guys. But we're going to get up here, Site 1. We'll show you some sights as we head up through here. But for now, we're going to enjoy the trail, guys. We're about 1.5 miles in. It's like 1.2 last time I looked at all trails. We should be coming up on Point B, which Point B is literally about 1 mile from the site. Ugh. It is really hot and muggy, and there's a lot of mosquitoes. We've got our 100% DEET on right now. That seems to be keeping them at bay. But before we put that on and actually stop to do that, we were getting eat up. A little bit more comfortable now, but it is still very hot and humid. We've done a lot of the elevation, I think, if I remember correctly. And like I said, we should be coming up on Point B. Point B to Point C isn't too bad. There are, I know, especially the last elevation gain up into the site to Point C, there's a little elevation there. But beyond that, I don't think there's much between Point B and C. And it's 0.9 miles. And actually, it's like, yeah, we're at Point B now. We're actually coming up on it. So we have I'd say about 0.8 of a mile now to site. And it's going to be kind of flat with a few ups and downs, but a lot easier than what we've been doing. If you notice, we're actually up on the ridge now. Like I said, you got a little bit of up here. Nothing too strenuous, I wouldn't believe. And there is that up there going into Site 1. Actually up to Point C, there's a little elevation gain. We'll knock that out pretty quick, I'm sure. It's kind of pretty right straight down through there. Look at that.
Can you do that without me being in the way?
Not bad.
Zaleski is a very, very beautiful area.
Oh yeah.
Most of the places we go are actually pretty beautiful.
We just like woods in general, so
Yeah.
that definitely helps. Just like in the woods. Now, I do like being able to get like a vista and be able to see out over an open area. And you don't get a lot of that here in Ohio, unfortunately.
I think the best spot we've had like that would probably be East Fork overlooking the
Lake. But like overlooking like mountains and stuff. There's not too many places. You got the gorge overlook there at Mohican. And we haven't had a chance to do any of the upper sites there at Mohican, so you may get some views there. That's something we're hoping to do. Maybe even this winter. I don't know. We'll see. Because Mohican's not too bad to run out and do an overnight trip. Because you can leave early. It's 2.5 hours over to there. You know, if you pick one of those closer sites to the trailhead, it's literally just a jump up the hill, 1/2 mile, 3/4 of a mile. So it might be kind of neat. Yeah, kind of. So we might do that as a winter trip sometime this winter. Alex really hadn't had a chance to do any winter camping yet.
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, I think this is about the latest in the year you've been out before. Well, no, you went out last September about the same time because it was September 29th. We went to Germantown.
Yep, because it was right after I started, right after I started school.
Yeah. Hear all the stuff falling. I told you. You're going to hear that constantly, like acorns, walnuts. And you're going to have little animals up in the trees pulling that stuff down and dropping it, and then they go chase it.
Yeah.
Like squirrels and chipmunks. Some birds will be gathering some stuff up like twigs and stuff, making a really nice nest if they stay in the area.
Yep.
Yeah, so you'll be hearing stuff fall all night long. I was trying to warn her about that because she's not used to being out in the woods during the fall too much. I mean, like I said, she did the trip last year, and that was about the only trip she's ever been in the fall. Except when we used to car camp in the fall years ago. And even then, that would have been like late October, mid-October. So stuff would have been off the trees a lot more by that point in time. But we're going to continue along the trail here. Yeah, I remember this. Remember coming out when it was raining so much and this was nothing but like water?
Oh, I do remember this. This was not great.
Yep. And now it's completely dry, guys.
That's so odd, seeing a trail being flooded with water basically, and then coming back to it later and seeing it so dried up, it just makes you think of how different it looks throughout the years.
Yeah, that's one thing I've kind of enjoyed, like going back to different places different times of year.
Yeah.
And just seeing what they look like. Like, I mean, East Fork is completely different in the winter than in the summer. I mean, of course, you know, duh. I mean, that makes sense. That's like saying, you know, the sky's blue. But to really actually experience it makes a big difference.
I mean, even small changes like a month can make it look so different, and it's very odd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're coming in here now. This is September 26th. Matt, say we come back in around Halloween of next month.
Yeah.
There won't be any leaves on the trees, and it'll actually probably be wetter because it does start getting wetter in Ohio towards the end of October.
Yep.
And you figure I went to Brookville November 4th of last year, and I mean, you know, I was seeing frozen water on the ground. And that's just over a month from now, so.
And I think with certain places it's even more unique because, say if it's September to October, like we're talking about, certain areas can get snow in October.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, you figure we had a blizzard in Bluefield back in West Virginia, Halloween.
I mean, it
What,
snowed,
6-7 years ago?
It snowed on my birthday in May.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
But yeah, we're making it. This is one of the inclines I was speaking of right here. We're up here at Site 1. We weren't able to get our kind of first couple of choices, or our third choice. It is pretty full up in here. If you notice, there's tents up in here, There's a group over here. On over, there's actually a large group of Boy Scouts. Yeah, we weren't able to get any of that, and we were kind of worried. We were actually about to the point to just say, forget it. We'll go ahead and just head over here into the side of the woods and just find a few trees, hang up, not worry about a fire or anything. And we come down this direction. Right over here, where this group's at, is where we stayed for Shane's birthday. And the service road is out this direction. So we was like, well, we'll walk down through there and see if maybe there's a site, if there's maybe a place to hang where we're not quite on top of everybody else. And we looked over to the side, And there's the entrance, and we find this little bitty site. Plenty big enough for us. We're going to take these 3 trees right here, probably from here to here, and then from here to here, and hang our hammocks. And we're going to go ahead and get that set up. We did get some wood. We're not worried about a big fire tonight. Just maybe burn it for a couple hours. Probably won't even start it till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It'll be dark by then, but that's fine. Just enough to give us a little bit of ambience till we get ready to go to bed, probably between 11 and midnight. But that was a really good hike in. We moved 2.3 miles in just under 2 hours. So that's really cool. It is just now 6 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and get site set up. I'll probably process this wood. If we've got time before it gets dark, I might grab a little bit more, but I'm not really stressing it. Like I said, I'm not worried about a big fire tonight because we're going to do a much larger fire tomorrow because we should be at site much earlier. And tomorrow's supposed to be our really good night. You know, we're going to be at site 3. Alex says her knee is feeling perfect, no pain whatsoever. That's awesome. My feet from the Burr Oak trip with those shoes, they're feeling awesome. I've got these boots back on. They're rocking. Feeling really nice. My ankles aren't even really hurting. I did have some pulling in my lower calves and my ankles when we first started and as we did some of the inclines, but that's kind of gone away, and that literally is just remnants of what happened over at Burr Oak with those shoes. So definitely was the shoes, not anything with conditioning, because I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, granted it was only 2.3 miles, but we moved it, we hiked it really quick, and we've been moving all over site right now just getting this wood and stuff. So, and I still feel really good.
I think my only issue I had was my pack was packed a little bit weird. I packed it differently than I normally do, and I have a new first aid kit. It was a smaller box that Mom, or Jenny, as you guys know her, got for me, and I packed it different because of that, because normally I just have a small bag for my stuff for first aid, and I put it down in the bag that I have my sleeping bag in, and I put that up against the back of mine, and it was kind of stabbing me.
So you have to move it. I would probably put it on top.
I had a small bit of pulling too on my shoulder, but I think that's just because my waist strap's a little...
Yeah, the waist strap, the buckles, we've got to replace. I meant to do it before this trip and just forgot.
Yeah.
You know, we had vacation and a few odds and ends between then and there, and school starting and stuff. We just completely forgot it. But I figure she'll just pack her bag different. She'll be good with that. But we're going to get site set up before it does get too dark on us, and probably get this wood processed up. We'll eat dinner, and then we'll probably just start a fire and just enjoy the rest of the night. We do need to make it the way over here. Just over here is the water spigot. We're going to fill up on water before it gets dark. That way we're good for the night. Finally got site set up. It's 8 o'clock now, which is not too bad. We did get both hammocks set up. Everything's put away, kind of stowed away. We're getting ready to do dinner because we're very, very, very hungry. And we did process up quite a bit of wood. Probably a good 2 to 3 hours worth of wood. We're going to eat dinner, kind of relax over here for a few minutes, and then move our back over to the fire pit and just kind of start the fire. There's not really anywhere to sit over next to the fireplace except on the ground. I don't know how comfortable that'll be. I might try it for a little bit, but I probably won't be on the ground long. Pretty good night though. It's starting to cool off a little bit. It was really warm hiking in. There was a lot of humidity. But now the humidity seems to be dying off a little bit and it's cooling off. Other than that, really good night. Had to finagle a little bit on my hammock where I'm still getting used to it, the bug net. I've got it worked out now where I like it, but when we first got here I was trying to figure it out. I really wasn't happy with the way the bug net was setting because it was laying directly on the hammock itself, so it would have put it pretty much in my face. Now I've got it up a little bit. I just took some extra string I had. It actually the barrel line I had, and just tied it to the tree. That seems to be the best option for it. You know, an extra couple of knots, but no big deal. It's still pretty quick to put up. Alex does have a bug net, so I'm not, or not a bug net, but a barrel line, so I'm not really worried about it. We'll be able to get our food bags up shortly. And she's getting ready to start her food. And you said tacos tonight?
Chili.
Chili, that's right.
Do you know how much that takes actually for water?
Chili? Just cover it like we normally do. I'd start with like 10 ounces.
I normally do tacos, but I haven't had chili in a real long time, and that's just including just in general. So I'm kind of in the mood for them, and we had Taco Bell last night, so.
Yeah, I'm doing spaghetti tonight. That's what I've got, because I brought spaghetti and buffalo chicken, and I'm just in the mood for some spaghetti. It's the low-carb vegetable spaghetti I normally make. And I'm going to get that out and cook it here in just a second. I was just kind of relaxing. That was a pretty hefty, march in. I mean, it was only 2 miles, but we pretty much ran it. Like I said, we did it in it was 2.3 miles, and I think it said 56 minutes. So that's pretty decent, especially with the little bit of elevation we had, and especially the way I felt yesterday and the day before from Burr Oak. Alex's knee is doing good. She said it's a little stiff, but not sore, so that's a good thing. I figure she'll prop it up tonight, and we should be able to do our thing tomorrow. And we did spend about an hour processing wood between the two of us, so yeah, she's getting ready to light up her stove now. Oof, there it goes. And she's going to get her dinner, I'm getting mine. So we'll check back with you as the night moves on. Probably get a fire here in a few minutes after we eat, guys. So guys, it's about 20 after 9. We got dinner done. I ate some really, really good spaghetti. I've nailed that as far as getting dehydrated. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. It was really good, filled me up. I went ahead and ate the granola bar that I actually had scheduled to eat today. I didn't get to it because we actually come in a little bit later than what we planned. So basically having that with the granola bar is like a dessert. Kept it kind of low carbs, but still really good. I'm full. Filled up on water. I've had probably a good liter and a half since we got to site. Of course, I did have a small cup of coffee just to kind of wake up and feel decent. Alex had chili.
Yeah, I did.
She's messing with the fire and got smoke in her eyes.
I had chili and a little bit of cheese, and it was actually really good, but it did have a slight off flavor. It was just weird.
Yeah, we were talking. I need to maybe do a little nuance on the recipe for my dehydrated chili. I don't make it that often because most people don't eat it. It's not one of our favorites, but Alex was actually in the mood for it. So basically when she gets in the mood for it, I'm going to try to finagle the recipe a little bit and get it tasting better for her. But yeah, we've got a small fire going, a little stick fire basically. I mean, we have some split wood here, but got the sticks over there, and that's probably what we're going to use for the most part. Just trying to keep it small. We just started about 5 minutes ago, so we're going to let that burn for a little bit. Probably won't go to bed super early, like, might be midnight, 1 o'clock before we even decide to lay down. Just for the simple fact, we're not pressed for time tomorrow. This is kind of a chill, relaxing trip is what we're kind of looking at it as. Mainly more conditioning for Alex's knee, which is feeling really good tonight, and making sure she's good if we decide we want to do longer trips in the future, because she does have a couple of 3-day weekends coming up that we might sneak out and do a little bit longer trail. We'll see how that goes. And my feet and legs are feeling really good compared to a couple of days at Burr Oak a couple of days ago. Because, I mean, if you watched the previous video, my legs were killing me. The shoes, I'm done with those. These are much more comfortable, even though they are boots. I'm digging these boots. Now, come next year, I'll probably use these through the winter. And then come next year when I get around to spring, I'm really looking at maybe investing $50 to $100 in a pair of shoes that I can use throughout the summer. Because next year, if nothing happens, as long as situations are settled a little bit better than they are now, I'm intending to do a lot more hiking, a lot more longer trails for you guys, and getting out and seeing a lot more stuff. So, and also going out of Ohio. That's one reason we're back here. I did mention, some of the trails we thought about doing here, but we also, I'm kind of leery of jumping out of state because, some of these states, people are kind of crazy at them right now, and I'm staying in Ohio. That way, we can be comfortable where we're at and actually enjoy it. But next year, yeah, I got a number of trails I'm wanting to do outside of Ohio. Looks like our group's over here. I think we're the only one that has a fire going right now. It's kind of weird. And this group over here, I mean, they're basically in bed right now. We're going to enjoy the night. As long as we're quiet, they can't really say much. But yeah, Alex got the fire built up really nice. And, we've got enough wood for a couple hours as long as we keep it smaller. No big bonfire tonight, guys.
That'll be tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow, we'll get site probably, I'm figuring, no later than 3, and we should have plenty of time to get set up and get, wood for hours, 4 or 5 hours tomorrow night.
Man, I wouldn't mind doing a huge fire, because I like doing big fires just because.
Well, if we have that site, if we can get into the site that I was at Site 3, well, even a couple of the other spots, they've got really awesome fire rings, much nicer than this one even.
And I mean, this one's big, but it's new.
Yeah, it's new. You can tell. It actually needs quite a bit more rocks added to it, so there's not as much embers, and needs some seats. But that's about the only complaint. I think it's a pretty little site down here off the side. Really surprising that it was there. I was actually kind of stoked because it was the only one that was left around here. Otherwise, we'd just been up on some trees hanging somewhere in the woods and not been able to do a fire or anything. We'd just kind of sit there and watch TV is what we've done. Hey, you got it going good now. Awesome. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here, guys, and I'm going to enjoy this fire for a little while. If anything happens throughout the night or whatever, we'll check back with you. Normally I come back and talk to you guys a couple times throughout the night.
This fire, man. I got it going, and it's a lot of smoke.
Nice little fire.
How come I'm good at doing this, man? I've learned a lot throughout just like videos and stuff like this. Just going out in general has helped me to just kind of hone my fire breathing ability.
I talked about that at Mohican. It's kind of funny. It's actually in the video that I put up. It actually went up today, I think, or yesterday, or not yet, or last week. I can't remember which one it was in. Either the one today or the one last week. So that's kind of cool. So definitely check out those. That's the Mohican where we went up. That's where she actually had the tweaking in her knee. It was a little nerve-wracking, but she's doing okay now. So we got this little fire going, guys, and we're just sitting here relaxing now. I'm actually plopped down on the ground up against a tree, and I'm actually kind of comfortable, so it's kind of cool. Alex is right beside me.
Hi.
Just relaxing. Yeah. Normally I bring in a chair at these type of situations, but this ain't too bad on the sit pad. I can deal with this for now. I know at Site 3 we'll have actual seats, so that'll help. Pretty little fire. Embers down in there.
We're just not going to put my phone back in my pocket because that's difficult.
And there's my flashlight phone.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm just sitting here against the tree, guys, just kind of relaxing.
We keep getting these random little, I don't know if you can see them very well, but it's a tiny little thing. They stick to our socks and like clothing and stuff.
Yeah, it's some type of seed or whatever. Maybe look it up when we go home.
I don't know, it's just very odd. Because they were actually sticking to your arm earlier.
Yeah, I mean, literally sticking to my skin, too.
That was my phone.
Yeah, I see. But, yeah, we're kind of having fun. Over there's the hammocks. Fire's here, and we're chilling right beside it. A couple of the groups are kind of loud right now, which I'm okay with because, we're not planning on going to bed anytime soon, so it's cool. Pretty late here. It's almost 1 o'clock. We've just really been relaxing. Had a fire for a while. It's burnt down pretty good. Yeah, it's just a little bit warm. I'm gonna take some water here in just a minute and finish putting it out and make sure that's out really good before we go to bed. Other than that, it's been a great night. We sat over here, just kind of watched a little bit of TV, like I said at Mohican. Alex was able to download some videos of stuff that we wanted to watch. We just kind of relaxed doing that, sitting in our hammocks, just having fun. like I said, we're not really stressed with miles tomorrow. I mean, even if we don't get out of sight until, say, 11 o'clock, we should be at sight no later than 4. And that's, I mean, we only have like 5.7, 5.8 miles. I mean, we'll factor it out really good when we get there, but that's what the map shows. And, you know, generally we're averaging anywhere from 2 to 2.5 miles an hour now. So, I mean, you know, I'm saying 4 o'clock, that's stopping for lunch and just taking our time and just enjoying it. And that's if the trail is as hard as it was. But, yeah, you know, like I said, I mean, it's 5 to 1 right now. We'll go to bed here in the next probably 20, 30 minutes. I've still got to brush my teeth and a couple odds and ends. I think Alex has already done that. But we'll head to bed, get up, have a quick breakfast, pack up, and get on the trail. So not too bad. But yeah, a really good night. The moon's out here really, really bright. The sky is actually lit up pretty decent for a, you know, less than 3/4 moon. But really quiet in the woods tonight. Everybody, all the other campsites have gone on to bed. This group over here in the site that we really actually wanted, it was the site that we've stayed in before, that Shane and I stayed in and Jenny and I stayed in a couple of times, you know, one each. They were the last to go to bed. They went to bed about an hour ago. And like I said, we've just been sitting over here in between our hammocks just watching a little bit of TV. The fire died down about 11:15, 11:30. It kind of went down to embers, and like I said, it's pretty much out now. I have a little bit of water left. I'm going to dump on there just to make sure it's good and out so we can go on to bed. So guys, for Living the Grand Adventure, I'm Kevin. Alex has been with me on this trip. This is day 1 here at Zaleski State Forest. We're at Campsite 1. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, definitely check out the Instagram and Facebook. Slap it up right here on the screen, you know, like I always do. Have some pictures there and a few odds and ends for this trip so far, and we're going to slap up some more tomorrow. We'll probably see some more views and sights tomorrow that we'll be able to put up there. Check that out. It's really awesome. And if you've really liked this video, definitely like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment. Definitely love hearing from you guys on what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong as well, so we can improve the channel for you guys as much as for ourselves. But anyway, guys, we're going to head to bed. Always remember to live your grand adventure to the fullest. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the trail here at Zaleski. Take care. Good night.